Hello, welcome back to Crave to Live, and today I have a very quick 2-ingredient butternut squash soup for you. I've got some requests on my Facebook page for easy cream soup, so I decided to bring this to you. It's very simple, it's very fast. You're going to use your crock pot or your pressure cooker. I'm going to use my pressure cooker, and I'll show you how easy and fast it is to make this nutritious soup. So let's get going. What you're going to need is actually a large size butternut squash and 1 whole onion. And you're going to also need some chicken broth, which can be either homemade or store-bought. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to chop up my butternut squash, peel it, cut off the ends first of all, then peel it and then chop it into cubes. They don't have to be small cubes whatsoever because after the soup is done, it's going to be blended together. So there's no precision required for the chopping up of the onions or the butternut squash whatsoever. And my third ingredient is going to be the bone broth. And today I'm going to be using packaged bone broth since I ran out of my homemade one. When you're buying packaged bone broth, make sure that you buy an organic type and make sure that the ingredient list on the side of the case is showing no more than a few ingredients. If you look closely here, you see that it's a very nice and short ingredient list, including chicken stock, onion, apple cider vinegar, and rosemary extract. So I love short ingredient lists like that. You know that there's no fillers and additives in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop my butternut squash and show you how to put together this soup. A quick tip for you is that when cutting and peeling your butternut squash, I find that the easiest way to handle this large piece of vegetable is to actually go ahead and cut it at the neck. And after you cut it at the neck, peel both parts, and then the head part cut in half. And then you can just easily use a spoon and scoop out the middle part, just like you would with a pumpkin. And after that, you can go ahead and chop the vegetable. I finished chopping up my butternut squash and my 1 whole large onion. So I have a nice big portion of chopped raw butternut squash and the onion. I have my organic butter, and then I have my organic bone broth. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and turn on my Instant Pot, put it on saute function. I'm going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of organic butter, and you can use lard, you can use organic bacon fat, you can use extra virgin coconut oil, you can use olive oil, whatever you would like. All of those are great choices. I just like the flavor of butter as it combines with butternut squash, so I decided to go with butter. Once the butter melts, I'm going to saute the white onions for just a minute or two. Then I'm going to add the butternut squash and add the broth, close the lid, and let the Instant Pot do its magic. Okay, I'm back. The 6 minutes are up. The Instant Pot is done with its program. The soup is cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and open it. I make sure that the valve is already turned to the vent position, and this little indicator has collapsed, which means that the Instant Pot has been sufficiently depressurized, which is very important before you attempt to open the lid so that you don't get thrown back and injure yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and open the lid, and there it is. You can see the cooked onion and the squash. I'm going to remove this stainless steel insert, place it on my stovetop, and blend it up. Make sure you're careful when you remove it because the insert is really hot, so use gloves or a kitchen towel. So I have removed the insert from the Instant Pot, and now I have it placed on the stovetop. And I have a couple of options on how to cream it all up. I can either use my Vitamix machine or any other high-speed blender. And really what I would do is I would just use a large soup ladle, spoon the soup into the pitcher of the blender, and blend it up in a couple of batches. Or my other choice is to use a hand mixer. This is very handy dandy, low-cost equipment that you can buy for your kitchen, and you're going to get the mileage out of it, especially if you have a newborn, or not a newborn, but a baby, and you're making the first foods. This is a great, nice little tool. So I'm going to go ahead and blend it all. I have blended up the butternut squash cream soup, and you can see the result, this beautiful orange yellow color, and the consistency, which is nice and thick enough for my liking. If you like it thicker, as I said earlier, you would just add less chicken broth, and if you like it thinner, you can add a little bit more of your filtered water or chicken broth. And then the best part at the end is really the seasoning. So depending on what mood you're in, if you're in a salty mood, then I would just add plain salt, sea salt and pepper. Just simple, very good. Really allows the flavor of the butternut squash to come through and be dominant. Now, if you like it a little bit sweet and you're in the mood for some fall flavors, I would actually recommend using some cinnamon, some ginger, some ground clove, and some nutmeg in addition to your salt. This will really give you that nice earthy fall flavor, almost like a pumpkin pie type of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add the spices. Added about a quarter teaspoon of the nutmeg, a quarter teaspoon of the clove, about half tablespoon of the cinnamon, and another half teaspoon of the ginger. I'm just going to nicely mix it up with my ladle. Taste it, and then at the very end, I'm going to add a little bit of salt just to get make sure that the flavors come out really well. Sometimes if I want a really sweet treat, but something that's also healthy at the same time and nutritious, I add just a little bit of raw honey or a little maple syrup or just a tad of stevia, and I have it as my dessert. Tastes just like pumpkin pie. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you find that it's really easy to make this few ingredient butternut squash soup and enjoy knowing that you're nourishing your body while you're eating this food, and enjoy that it takes really short time and very little preparation to prepare it. Come back for more. Bye.